Hey everybody, welcome to the Renew Show. I want to thank you for tuning in. And first, I guess I should explain the cast that you see here, and ask you guys to just pray for Sarah Smelling. She had to go to the ER today. Same problems that she's been dealing with. It's off and on. So she had a flare-up the last couple of days, and was bad. She's home now, resting, but obviously not able to be on. I asked Brooke if she would be able to fill in, and she had to run and do something for Harry, so she wasn't able to come on. And both Sherry Ann and I are sick. I think she got me sick with something. We're trying to figure out exactly what germ she gave me, but we both are sick, so this is going to be a very interesting show. And if you are friends with Jennifer, you know that she wasn't feeling well today either. So we're just really trying to pull together and do this. But anyway, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So before we get started, I will just remind everybody, first, if you didn't see on social media, that Jennifer has a really big announcement. So we're going to have sometime, we haven't even decided when. We should have, but we'll decide, we should have decided when she's going to say that. But anyway, she'll have a big announcement. And also, I want to remind you guys that the podcast is up. The Renew Show podcast, it launched a couple weeks ago. We officially launched it last week, and we're holding a giveaway with 10 different sponsors, so make sure that you go over and check that out, renewshow.com/podcast launch giveaway with hyphens between each one. All right, so on to the show. Jennifer Bleecher, I feel a little bit deprived because I started watching her a couple months ago, and she already looked like this. So I didn't get to see the 300-plus pound Jennifer, week to week, just really come in looking smaller and smaller. So I actually looked back over the last couple of days for some of her older videos, but it's not the same as following someone all the way through. So I feel a little deprived from there, but I guess I'll get over it. So Jennifer, just tell us a little bit about yourself, just so we can get to know you better.
Okay. I'm Jennifer Bleecher, and I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is a type of weight loss surgery, on December 30th, 2013. I have lost, my last official weigh-in, I lost 122 pounds so far. Today, actually, when I weighed myself, I was quite a bit less than that, but like you said earlier, I was sick today, so I'm not going to count it till my official weigh-in day. But if it's accurate, then I've actually hit Wonderland, which would be so awesome, because these last few months I've been so close to Wonderland and haven't been able to quite get there. So that's much I've lost so far. And I have a vlog on Facebook, on YouTube, called Jennifer Bleecher, and I also have a weekly show that I do with Lacey, or Lace RNY, called The Naked Truth, and that's on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, thank you. And yeah, 122 pounds is, to me, it's remarkable because you've done it in such a short time. So
11 months.
Yeah, that was actually one of my questions. Just and it's kind of a two-part question. How was it that you were able to lose the weight in a year? Like, how do you feel about that success? And also, excuse me, how do you feel when you watch people struggle with that? I mean, we don't compare ourselves. That's what everyone says. But if you watch someone who's had VSG and they lost 50 pounds in 2 years, are you ever tempted to reach out to them or anything like that? So first, how do you feel? Just from
okay. I feel freaking amazing. I feel really, really great. Prior to having surgery, I was in a chronic pain and I was miserable, so I feel wonderful. As far as how much I've lost, I'm a little disappointed in how much I've lost. I'm about 1 month to my 1 year mark, and I really wanted to be at goal at 1 year, and there's just no way that's going to happen now, because I still have about 40 pounds to lose approximately. So I feel like, But I'm very happy that with what I have lost. I mean, 120 is great. It's surpassed my surgeon's expectations. They said if you lose 70 to 80 pounds, we would consider you a success. So, you know, at 120, I'm 50 pounds over their goal for me. So that's really good. When it comes to other people who aren't as successful, you know, most of the people that I follow on YouTube and on Facebook, they're very successful. But I think a large part of that is because they have the accountability with Facebook and YouTube, and I think that accountability is a huge piece to weight loss success. The people that I see who aren't as successful are people that I see in my support group that I attend once a month at my surgeon's office. Like I was talking to a lady a few months ago, and I think she's 4 years out and she's only lost about 50 pounds. And all I can do, well, my thought was, ooh, she doesn't have enough support. That was my initial reaction. So your question was, do I feel like I need to reach out and help those people? Yeah, absolutely. I do. When I'm at support group, I am like just a social butterfly. I'm bouncing around and I'm talking to everybody, and I'm trying to get to as many people as possible, which is really hard because there's like 200 people in our group. But but also too, that's why I started a local support group because my big support group is about an hour away from where I live. So the local support group is just about 10 minutes from where I live, and it's a much smaller group. And I started that so that we could have more one-on-one or small group time to talk with one another and get support from each other. And we have our own private Facebook page. So support is a huge part of my weight loss success, and also how I'm giving back to the community now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, if you're comfortable talking about this, tell us exactly how you gained the weight.
Mm.
You know, you had mentioned that you weren't always, you know, large. At some part, you were very, very thin. So, you know, tell us about that growing up and then that transition, as much as you're comfortable with sharing.
Yeah. I'll share it because there is a video out there where I tell the whole story, or as much as I can to keep certain people safe, not get into too much trouble. But so I would be considered a normie, is what we call people. I was a normie for a long time. Even when I was in college, I was 5'9", 145 pounds. So I would consider myself normal. I didn't really have a weight problem until my very last year of college. And the whole story is the summer where I turned 12, so I was 11, 12, something bad happened to me, and I didn't deal with that until right before I was going to graduate from college. Because when it happened, I told an adult what had happened, and they didn't believe me. And I realized that nothing was going to be done about what had happened to me. And I thought at that point, I'm 11, I'm 12, you're 12, I can't go up against this person. It was an adult. I can't go up against this adult. So I'm just going to have to wait until I'm an adult and I can take care of it. And then my senior year of college, I decided, okay, I was about to graduate, and I decided, okay, I'm an adult. Now it's time for me to take care of that problem that happened to me. So I took care of it, and I started seeing a psychiatrist for about 6 months. And during that time, I put on a lot of weight. I think I put on like 80 pounds, something like that, something ridiculous in 6 months, a huge amount of weight. But I was dealing with that pain for the first time. I had suppressed it for a decade, and I was dealing with it for the first time, and it was really, really hard. It was painful, and I can talk about it now because when I saw my psychiatrist, he made me talk about the event over and over and over again, to the point where I was so tired of talking about it, and it had no strength or meaning to me anymore, because I had talked about it so much that it lost all its power and all its strength and all its meaning. But at the end of that process, I ended up 80 pounds heavier than I started. So that's how I initially gained 80 pounds. And then after that, I feel like it was like I could never recover from that. I just gained more and more and more, and I never quite recovered. So I ended up gaining a total of, let's say I got up to 323, so 178 pounds, I think, total. That's what I ended up gaining. So, yeah.
So what was your relationship with food like after that period? Like, what changed in terms of your relationship with food?
I never really used food for comfort before that, but during that process, I've used food for comfort, and I just continue to do that. Like, I remember waking up, and it was hard to get out of bed at that time. That was the only time in my life where I experienced any kind of depression, is when I was dealing with that. It was hard to get out of bed, and something that would help me get out of bed was the thought of, oh, if you get out of bed, you can go over to the grocery store and buy a pre-made cake and come home and eat it, and eat the whole thing. It's such a messed up thing, but I knew if I got up out of bed and did that, I'd feel better. So I think that's when I first started using food as medicine to help me feel better. I don't know if medicine's the right term, but I used it to make me feel better. And then, you know, graduating from college and just going off and experiencing life, I just continued to use food for everything. To when I was sad, when I was scared, when I was happy, when I was celebrating, when I felt like I had done something good and I deserved a reward. I used it for everything. I had a very, very unhealthy relationship with food, and it really, that didn't go away. When I had surgery, my unhealthy relationship with food didn't go away. It's still a work in progress. It's much better now, almost a year out. But even right after surgery, I had really struggled with those food demons. It's actually easier now than it was directly after surgery, I think.
So what was the reaction from friends and family, you know, just people who were around you and saw you going through a period of depression and also the huge weight gain?
Just start to think back, because that was a little while ago. I guess my family was extremely concerned for me. They're the ones who got me into therapy and got me talking about what had happened. And with the weight gain, just trying to think back, but with my mother, she had herself at that point in time had just lost way over 100 pounds herself, and she did it through Weight Watchers and running. Those are the two big changes she made in her life. So she had just accomplished that right as I started my period of depression and weight gain. So she was, on one hand, she was so worried about the weight gain because she knew what it was like to have to fight the needing to lose so much weight on one hand, and on the other hand, she was just so worried about my mental health that I think that she just tried to keep it in balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your psychiatrist notice the weight gain? Did he say anything, since it was so much so soon?
He never mentioned it. No. Yeah, he never mentioned it.
So what led up to your choice to have VSG? I mean, was it a long process of diets, you know, different plans, or did you just kind of go right at it?
Well, about 2 years prior to having surgery, I was diagnosed with as pre-diabetic, and my brother, who's just a year older than me, he has type 2 diabetes, and I saw everything that he was going through, and I thought, I just cannot go through that. It's just such a terrible disease to have to deal with. So at 2 years prior to surgery, I started really seriously working out. I mean, I tried to lose weight off and on the 10 years prior to that as well, but those 2 years I worked really hard. I started working out, worked out 5 days a week. I worked with a personal trainer. I did MetaFast. And during that 2-year period, I didn't lose anything, or not a significant amount. When I was on MetaFast, I think I lost a total of 30 pounds in 6 months, which is nothing compared to other people who do MetaFast. And at the end of that period, it was towards the end of the school year, and I thought I was having a heart attack. I was 37 years old. I was under some stress at work, and I thought I was having a heart attack. They rushed me off to the hospital, and I was laying in the emergency room, laying there thinking, you are 37 years old, and you're in the hospital having a heart attack. It was just a heart episode. It wasn't a heart attack after all, but that's what I thought at the time. And I thought, you're too young. You're too young to be having a heart attack. So that's the thing that spurred me to go to my family doctor and say, okay, obviously everything else I've tried isn't working. What can I do? And he's the one who introduced me to the idea of weight loss surgery.
So, oh, go ahead.
As far as the surgery was concerned, how did your husband feel about it? Did it take some convincing for him?
It did. The biggest thing that he was concerned about was me dying, like either during the surgery itself or afterwards because of complications. I think he never said this, but I think in his mind he was thinking, I've seen you binge eat, and you can't do that when you have a tiny stomach. You'll kill yourself. So I think that's probably one of the things that he thought of. But his biggest thing was, he said, I support you, but I'm afraid you're going to die, and I can't look at our kids. If you die, I can't look at our kids and tell them, I supported this. I supported you doing something that killed you. So he didn't support me officially until after the surgery was over and I was alive, and then he stepped in and said,
that is the safe way to go. Watching the videos, you guys are adorable, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm kind of crazy about him.
It definitely looks that way. It's very sweet.
So my question was really the same question, but about your mother, especially since she lost weight using Weight Watchers. Did she tell you, no, you don't need to do surgery, just do what I did?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. She also was not, initially she was not for the surgery, but she's supportive of me and wanted me to be happy and healthy. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, besides the whole heart episode, I have degeneration in my spine, and I have scoliosis, and I had osteoarthritis in my ankles. So I was in so much pain, joint pain, constantly, that I would wake up in the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep anymore, and I would just cry. I would just cry and watch YouTube videos about people who had weight loss surgery. So, like, the pain was terrible, and she knew how much pain I was in. So she supported me doing something to get healthy, but she did say, I did it, you can do it. You're my daughter. If I can do it, you can do it. So she started coming with me to my monthly support groups at my surgeon's office, the ones I attended before having surgery. And she still comes every once in a while. She'll come and just be with me there. And so once she started doing that and having time to ask the surgeon questions, she realized it was the best option for me. And she got on board and was being supportive.
Okay. Do you have any regrets about either having the surgery or any other part of your weight loss journey?
No, I have had complications which are not pleasant, like the one that I'm going through today, the gastritis. But even with, and then I had iron complications as well. But even with those complications, I would still do it again. I have no regrets at all. I forgot the second part of the question, sorry.
Not only the weight loss surgery, but do you have any regrets just on how you handled trying to lose weight, maybe before surgery or even while you were after the surgery, things that you've done?
You know, I think now, I wonder now, like, now it's to say it's not easy to lose weight, but it's much easier to lose weight now, and I wonder sometimes, like, why I couldn't do it before. Like, what was so wrong with me that I couldn't do it before? But it really is, you know, they say it's a tool, and it is a tool, and without that tool, I just couldn't be successful. That was the last thing. That was the tool that I needed to be successful. So, I guess the only regret I have is not doing it sooner, because I had to live with the pain for so many years, and it would have been nice to not have that pain.
I saw your video, one of your videos, where you had the PICC line in for, I guess it was to get your iron.
Yes.
So first of all, I've had a PICC line, and it is so uncomfortable and weird, and but I agree that it is better than getting an IV stuck in your arm every day. So I understand. But is that something that you have to have done periodically, is to get?
Yeah, every 4 months. When I had really low iron, so every 4 months I have to go in and get checked, and then if it's low, I have to get infusions, iron infusions. The first time they just did they did a traditional like picking needle every day I went in, and that was just an awful experience for me. I'm a very hard stick. So after that, the second time I had to get infusions, they did the PICC line, and they told me if I have to continue to have infusions for the rest of my life, if it seems like it's going to be that way, they're going to put in a port like on my shoulder, like my collarbone. They'll put in a port that I guess they do that for patients who are going through chemotherapy. So I'm hoping that doesn't have to happen. After my horrible experience with the PICC line, before the PICC line, the IVs, I really liked having the PICC line. But you're right, it's weird and it's annoying, and when you take a shower, it has to be covered and outside the shower. And
right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that are bad with that too. So I'm hoping. Last time I had my iron checked, it was good, and I didn't have to get an infusion.
Oh, great!
Yeah, I'm going back in 2 months, so fingers crossed that it's still good when I go back.
Do you do any kind of supplementation in between to kind of keep your iron?
Yes, I have to take. I take an iron pill in the morning, and then I have to take liquid iron at night with a shot of orange juice.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, it's a little shot of orange juice and liquid iron.
Okay, so I'm going to ask like a normal question that everyone tends to talk about. With that video, what I saw is that the PICC line was uncomfortable for you because, with the weight loss and your arm was heavy and all those things. So my question is, I know some people have brachioplasty. Is that something that you've thought about, and would you consider?
A great question. I actually always thought that I would not have any kind of plastic surgery. I thought that, well, first of all, I knew I couldn't afford it. And secondly, I thought that it was like going to be my punishment. Not that I need to be punished, but basically my punishment for letting myself get so heavy. So it's like the burden that I have to carry. But as I get closer to my goal, there's more and more skin than I was thinking there would be, especially on the arms. So now I'm considering it, but the money's still a problem.
Right. About how much is that? Because I don't really know.
I don't know for sure, but the tummy tuck itself is going to be around $10,000, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah. For the surgeon that's here in Iowa, and then but I also, I want to get my arms done as well, at least.
Yeah.
Probably. If you're gonna do it, just do the whole thing: the tummy, the breast, the arms.
Right.
It's one package. Huh?
Yeah, just get it all done at once.
So thinking about you being in Iowa, I noticed that you always put your weight in kilograms. So I wanted to know, how many Canadian subscribers do you have, or British, that you do that?
I have let's see, 3 Canadian subscribers, 2 British, and then a whole bunch of Australians. So I do it for the Australians. I love the Australians.
Is there a reason for that, like your family or your husband's family?
No, they're just part of the community. They're a big part of the community, and I love watching their videos. I love their accents. I watch all their videos and comment on them, and they watch mine and comment on them. I love them. I hope I can go there someday.
It's too bad Sarah isn't on, because her husband's from New Zealand.
Really? Oh, yep. I have some subscribers from New Zealand too. Yep.
We have a question from that fat chick.
Yes.
And she asks, how do you reward your accomplishments? And also, what food have you not given up after surgery?
Okay, I gave myself 2 rewards. When I lost 50 pounds, I gave myself a bracelet. I got myself a bracelet, which I'm not wearing. I should have been wearing it. And when I lost 100 pounds, I bought myself a purse. Those are the only 2 rewards I've given myself. You know, like a long time ago, and I don't know if my mother remembers this, but before I was going to have surgery, when I was just trying to lose weight, to motivate me, she said, if you get to your goal weight, I will send you to Hawaii. I will send you on a trip to Hawaii. Wow. So I don't know if she remembers that or not. But that would be awesome. If I could go to Hawaii for my goal, getting to goal, that would be great. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the other question. Oh, what have I not given up?
Right.
I haven't given up carbs. I eat fruits and veggies, and I eat tortillas. Like I like the low carb tortillas because I just like the taste of them. But sometimes I have like a taco shell. I eat Ezekiel bread.
That stuff's good.
Love it.
It is.
Okay, so speaking of rewards, I have a question for you. I was watching another video of yours, and you mentioned a little bit of a spending situation with clothes.
Oh, that was my question.
Yeah, that's a new problem for me. I'm usually like so like good about spending money. I mean, as far as not spending money, but I just, you know, I started shopping and realized I needed this and I needed this, and then it just kind of piled up. And when David like showed me, he asked me how much I thought I'd spent, and I told him I think I spent this much in 2 months, and then he showed me it was 5 times the amount that I thought I had spent.
Right.
Yeah. So shopping has been put on hold. I'm not gonna. My goal right now is to not shop again until right before WSFA. So I have to get a few outfits for WSFA, but besides that, I'm gonna try to stop the shopping.
I know with us, like we noticed a lot of parallels between just like financial issues and weight loss issues. Like they really kind of go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. So maybe not in your situation, but I guess my question would be, do you think that could be a way that people replace their addiction, you know, from food to shopping?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes. Because actually after I made that video, a week later was Black Friday, and I went to the store. Oh, I tried on so many things. I didn't indulge. I didn't buy a lot of. I bought a few things, and I was already supposed to be on a spending cut. It is hard though. So now I'm telling myself, don't even go to the stores. Don't even go and try things on, because then you're going to want to buy it.
Right.
So yes, absolutely. And the other big transfer addiction for me is I don't know, say, like my involvement with the community. Like I am over involved with the community, and I realize it, and I realize it's a transfer addiction, but I don't think it's hurting anybody. So as long as it's not hurting anybody, I think I'm going to keep doing it. The only person I think it could hurt is my husband. So I've been trying really hard to keep a balance. Well, my husband and my kids. So keep a balance between how much time I spend on the weight loss surgery community or on the community at large, and how much I spend with my family. Like now I only watch videos, YouTube videos, after everyone's gone to bed for the night. Then I watch my videos, or when I'm on the treadmill, you know. So I try to schedule things around David's schedule so that I can get things done before he gets home, or if I'm going to do a Google Hangout with some friends from the community, that I schedule at a time that either he's out with his friends doing stuff or not home. So
right.
So it's not taking away from our time together.
Right. I saw that you were interested in, at least in the aspect of helping people, making it more of a career.
Yes. And
Can
I
you
think
talk
this
a
would
little
be
bit about that?
I think this would be a great time for my big announcement. So my big announcement is that I actually launched my new business today. Um, and there is a website. It's jenniferbleecher@weebly.com. Weebly is Weebly, jenniferbleecher@weebly.com. And it is a bariatric support business. There are two products that I'm offering the community. One of them is small group sessions that will meet once a week through Google Hangouts. And the other one is one-on-one sessions with me, and those will be either through the telephone or a Google Hangout, whatever like the person is most comfortable with. So there's only two products that I'm offering right now, and because I do work full-time and I am a mom and a wife and all that, I only have a few slots available. So after tonight's show, I will post a link to my webpage for my new business on my Facebook page, and you can go and check it out. There are 4 spots available for one-on-one sessions with me, and there's 2 small group sessions available, and small group is going to be between 4 to 6 people. So once those are full, that's all I can take. But that's my big announcement. It's finally happening. I've been working on this for months and months, and I've been talking to different people and consulting with lawyers, and it all came together today, and the website was launched today, but I didn't post it because I knew I was going to be on the show tonight. So, yes, I'm so super excited.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for everybody, I just posted a link in one of the comments, so hopefully if you go newest first, it'll be the top comment, so you can go right to our website from there. And it'll be in the description box if you're not watching this live. It'll be in there after the show.
Yay, I'm so excited. Thank you for asking that question.
I mean, absolutely. Just, watching the videos and just seeing your passion and your love for the community and for people who have gone through and are going through what you have, I said she would be perfect to make this a career choice.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Sometimes I have all these ideas in my head, and I need David to bring me back down to reality. So it makes me feel so good when other people agree with me. They're like, yes, you would be good at that. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Sherry Ann with that, as far as just seeing your passion, seeing your success, and then seeing your drive to want to help other people. It just seems like just a perfect mix.
Thank you. And I'm so excited, too. I talked in my videos, I had considered going back to school to become a nutritionist or a psychologist, and then I discovered this whole field of like life coaching, and it was the closest thing to what I wanted to do. So I've been actually working with a life coach, and she pointed out that I don't exactly want to be a life coach, that I want to help people who've had weight loss surgery. I want to support them. And she said, you are already an expert in that area. You have your own personal experience, and you're already doing it. I already talk to people all the time, either on the phone or through chats or Google Hangouts. So she said, you're already doing it. Just realize that the service you're providing has value to it, and get over that hump. Because I had this drawback of, I can't charge people. No way, I'd feel too bad charging people. And she said, no, you are providing a valuable service that people are going to want. So you need to get over that and just do it. So, yeah.
Honestly, a lot of people go through that. Like we deal with personal finance, so we see that a lot, with bloggers and other people. Just it's hard to get to the consulting side of it for that reason. It's hard to start charging money and to realize that you are providing a service and your value, in your field. So I think that's awesome that you were able to make that step.
Thank you.
And I'm sure your clients will see it too.
And it's not my full-time career. I'm still a full-time teacher. This is my side passion that I'm doing. So I'm being responsible. If David watches this or hears this on a podcast, I'm being responsible.
Well, maybe you could use this to fund some of those shopping sprees.
Yes, actually, that's what I was telling David. I could use the money to pay off all the debt that I recently incurred.
All right, we have a question from Miss Beautiful Alicia, and
I love her.
She says, Jennifer, how is your relationship with your kids now, and how are things different? What can you do now that you couldn't do then?
Oh, there's so many things. I have two boys. One is 3 and one is 12. Um, I think I've seen the biggest impact on things that I can do now with my 3-year-old, because he needs more care than my 12-year-old. He's very independent. So with my 3-year-old, I read him, when I put him to bed at night, I always read stories to him. And this is one of my favorite NSVs, is I have a rocking chair next to his bed. And I would read stories. I'd sit in the rocking chair and read stories to him. And I would look at him in his little bed, and I would think, gosh, if I was thinner, I could sit next to him and read stories to him. And how nice that would be to be sitting next to him and reading stories. So I can do that now. And that is definitely my favorite NSV. Like, every night that I get to sit next to him and read books, I'm thankful and I'm happy that I can do that. The other thing is when we're at the playground, I can run around and interact with him, or if we're at the swimming pool or at the beach, I can just run around and participate fully in everything that he's doing, which is super exciting for me. I think with my 12-year-old, you know, he had the unfortunate, I think, experience of having a mom that's a teacher. So his whole, like, even preschool through 4th grade, I was obese that entire time he was in school with me. He moved on to middle school in 5th grade, and that's when I had the surgery last year, was when he was in 5th grade. So on one hand, it was, I think, in one hand, he liked being in school with me because he would say things like, well, you're everyone's favorite teacher, everyone loves you, all my friends love you, you're the favorite teacher. So he liked that part of it. But on the other hand, kids are mean, and they say mean things, and I know some of the mean things that kids said to him, like, your mom's fat, or like things like that, you know. Just so I felt bad that he had to go through that part. And now, when I went to his parent-teacher conference, we were walking down the hallway of his school. I was dressed really nice that night. My hair was really nice. My makeup's and you're walking down that hallway, and we're passing all these kids, and I could just tell that he was proud to be walking next to me. And that made me feel good. That made me feel really good.
Oh, those are really sweet ones. All right, what is your ultimate goal for your weight and also for just health in general?
Well, okay, my goal is 160 pounds. So I still have about 40 pounds to go. And I have a fitness goal. I really want to run a 5K, or maybe even make running a 5K like a regular habit. Like, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on the Couch to 5K program, and I really want to do a 5K race, and maybe several. I just admire. I have a group of girlfriends who live in the same town I live in, and they all do like 5Ks and 10Ks and marathons. And I watched them for years, thinking, "Gosh, that would be so fun. I wish I could join them." So, fitness-wise, that's my next big goal, is being able to run a 5K. And overall health in general, I have already reached all of those goals. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. All of my joint pain is gone, my back pain, my ankle pain, it's all gone.
Wow.
Which is crazy because I still have degeneration in my spine. I still have scoliosis, but I guess removing the weight just removes the pain as well. And then I would love for my iron to be level so that I never have to have another infusion.
I saw your cartwheel in the video, so gymnastics isn't on your list? You're not...
You know, actually, I would really love that. My oldest son is a gymnast, and I did gymnastics when I was a kid as well, and which is probably why in my mind I thought, oh, I can do a cartwheel. But if you watch the video, you can clearly see that I can't do a cartwheel. But yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to be able to do a cartwheel and like stick the landing. That would be awesome.
I'll be looking out for that video.
Maybe next summer when I go to that beach again.
Cool.
All right, so I want to ask you about the naked truth.
Okay.
well, just what was your motivation for starting that?
Do you This is a hard question. Do you know, I mean, like, you know I had another show first? Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, when I was on the other show, that, oh, Khalif. Okay, so I was on this other show, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed being a part of that show. But it wasn't 100% what I wanted, like my vision, because it wasn't my show. It was created by Christina Guzman, who and she invited me to be a part of the show, and I'm so thankful to her for that opportunity, because I never would have done something like that if she hadn't invited me, encouraged me to do that. So, but her vision was just, it was just different from what I wanted. I wanted a very community-focused show that was all about people in the weight loss surgery community. I wanted us to come together every week, celebrate our successes, talk about things that we're having a problem with, and I wanted to feature somebody who's had surgery, or even people who are in the weight loss community in general, because I have guests now booked who are just part of the weight loss, the overall weight loss community, and not just weight loss surgery patients. But I wanted to feature those people, a different person every week, and really get in depth and get to know people and have people come together and get to ask questions. So my motivation for the show was a place that the community could come together once a week to hang out together and get to know each other and support each other.
See, that wasn't bad.
Okay. I was just thinking, I didn't know if you were trying to start something.
I can't take it.
No.
I mean, that's very similar to, you know, the first season of Renew. Rob Reno was my co-host, and during that, in the middle of that season, he just got this vision and this passion to want to start something a little different, and that's, you know, he started the forum. So, you know, there's no drama or animosity or anything.
Good.
So I understand completely how you felt, that, you know, you were a part of something you enjoyed, but you wanted to go in a little bit different direction, so you just, you know, started your own.
Thank you. Because I don't know if you saw, I had a video, but there was some, like, there's been some, like, people not happy with that choice. So there were some mean things that were said. And then, like, we lost, you know, we had 600 viewers on our other show, and I don't know if we're even at 300 yet on the new show. So we lost a lot of people when I made that move.
Yeah, I saw your video talking about it, but I haven't seen any negative comments or videos or anything. I've just seen you talk about the feedback you received. But you know,
to be fair, because I don't want to focus on the negative. Like, it's not like really who I am. It was one person who said 2 negative things, and I need to just get over it. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of people, and only one of them was upset. So I need to, like, just let it go.
All right, yeah, so then it's not that bad. When they say it more than once, it definitely compounds it, but you see that the community supports you, you know, completely.
Yeah, the community has been absolutely amazing, and they were so supportive about that, but just every day they are amazing and supportive. I love the community so much.
And it is pretty funny with you, excuse me, you and Lacey, how you both have these great personalities, and no offense to anyone who lives in these 2 states, but you're in Iowa and Oklahoma. I don't think about great personalities when I think of those 2 states. You know, I think about corn.
Oh, that's funny. At least you got the produce right. It's corn in Iowa. But, you know, I'm not from Iowa, and she's not from Oklahoma. Like, I think we were, you know, we moved here about 5 years ago. When I met David, I was living in Los Angeles at the time. So I went from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, which I absolutely love, and I hope to buy a condo there when I retire. But and then to Austin, Texas, to Iowa. So I ended up here. It's not a bad place. I mean, the people here are so nice, and it's very comfortable here when it's not too cold. But yeah, but it's not terribly exciting. And, you know, prior to that, like, that's when I like graduated from college, I moved to Los Angeles. So prior to that, my father was in the military, and we like moved all over the world. So I've never really lived anywhere for a really long period of time. I think I was definitely the longest. So I ended up going to high school and college here, and now I'm back here. So I've been here longer than anywhere else.
Hmm. So you mentioned one thing, the cold.
Yeah.
I mean, has that gotten worse? You feeling cold? Do you think you feel cold a lot more that you've lost all this weight?
Yes, it is absolutely awful. Like you said you've lost weight too, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel colder?
I don't, but I'm still really fat, and I like the cold.
Oh, you like the cold. See,
Yeah.
I was like that before surgery. Like I would go in the middle of winter, I would go outside without my coat on because I was so hot. So I used to be like that. But
as his wife,
I'm sorry?
I do think the more weight he lost, the colder he got.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
See?
I'm freezing all the time now. Freezing. And my husband is still, large, big man. So he's not freezing all the time. So it used to be like we were nice keeping the house nice and cold before, and now I've changed it up and now I want it to be warmer, so like there's a constant battle about the temperature now that didn't exist before. Yeah, but that just makes it much worse because it gets like -20 here.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's painful.
So when you had weight loss surgery, and if you cook, I don't know if you or your husband does the cooking, but if you cook, how was it cooking for especially your 12-year-old son and your husband, who are eating full meals and you're eating something, maybe different foods or just different portions? How was that?
Well, something very strange happened because prior to this, we've been married for 13 years now, but 12 years before I had surgery, if David had to make dinner, it was cereal. Like not even like cooked cereal, like cereal in a bowl with milk. That was dinner if he had to cook. So after having the weight loss surgery, I just couldn't take it anymore. I tried to. And initially started out like sitting with my family when they were eating, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the smells. I wanted to eat the food so badly that I just had to remove myself from the room completely when they were eating. So David took over. He took over the grocery shopping. He took over the preparing the meals for him and the boys, and he still does it. We're 11 months out, and he's still doing that. He does the grocery shopping, and he prepares all the meals. So he's actually a really good cook, so I eat with them now, but he's still doing all the cooking, which I don't mind because he's really great.
So see, that's another benefit. It brought out his hidden talents.
Yes, it did. I was shocked. Like I said, it was either cereal or like frozen pizza. That was it. The extent of his cooking before.
That doesn't sound too bad though. I don't know. I could do cereal. I love cereal, but we're not going to get into that. It's about you. So just know I love cereal. We do have a question that's, would you make bariatric support a full-time thing if it became successful enough? Yes,
absolutely. In fact, like, I don't know who this person is who's like sitting in this chair starting a company. I don't know that girl. Like this is a new person. I really like her, but she's totally new. And this new person, like I just think all the time, tell myself, think bigger, think bigger. I don't know, just a few months ago, this voice came in my head that just kept saying, think bigger, think bigger. So I have actually a lot of plans that involve the bariatric community and me being part of the bariatric community and globally. And what I want to do. This is just the beginning, and I hope it just gets bigger and bigger from here.
Mm.
That's amazing.
So speaking of a new person, what has it been like for you becoming this new person, and also what has it been like for your family, for your husband, and and even your children?
For me, it's been great. I feel like I had a second chance at life. I feel like I died and I became a new person. Like the old me doesn't really even exist anymore. I was so painfully shy and so scared of everything. And that's all gone away. Well, except for driving. I'm still scared of driving a little bit. But I'm not scared to talk to people. I'm not scared to go places by myself or do things alone or take risks. So for me personally, I feel great about that. My husband loves everything about it except for the amount of time that I spend on the community. But he loves the way I look. He compliments me all the time. Now, which is funny, he always told me in the past, like, oh, you're beautiful to me, you don't need to lose weight. But now he compliments me all the time, which is really nice. And I know that he means it because it's something he doesn't give freely. Like, you know. But I hear it at least once a week. And then of course it's helped us romantically. It's helped us. And since he's been willing to join me and being involved in the community, there's a lot of things that we do together, which is just so fun. And the kids, I think they like it too. My youngest, who's 3, he always tells people that his mommy's a princess.
Aww.
I don't know where he got that from, because I live in a house of boys. We never talk about princesses. So somewhere he picked up the term princess, and he always tells people now, this is my mommy, and she's a princess. So,
Aww.
yeah, I can tell that they're proud of me as well.
Well, a similar question that fat chick asked, how do you keep your marriage strong through this big change? She says, I know a lot of relationships suffer after weight loss.
Mm-hmm. We were both extremely afraid of that happening because people talk about it all the time. Even in my surgeon's office, they talk about how high the divorce rate is of people who've had weight loss surgery. So we were both scared about that, and we were looking for answers as to why that happens. And then when Sarah, when she announced her divorce from Will, who's friends with my husband, that hit us really hard because we're like, oh my gosh, why? They're such a great couple. You know, why would this happen? And Sarah was really great. She contacted me, and she sat down and talked with David and I, and like said, ask me anything, and I'll answer any questions you have. And she did that for us. And after that conversation, we realized everybody's different. And just because a large number of people get divorced after having weight loss surgery doesn't mean that we have to. We were great before. I think we'd say we're even better now than we were before I had weight loss surgery, and we can just like be happy with that and not feel like and not worry about the things that don't exist. We don't have any problems except for my spending, which I need to get under control, and then I need to keep the balance between my passion for everything I'm doing with weight loss surgery community and my family. I just got to keep that balance, get my spending under control, and then we're good.
I think the one thing that's really important about marriage is keeping your identity as a couple. You know what I mean? Like, every marriage isn't the same. Like, you guys are you guys, and it's important to keep that. Do you think that's harder since you're putting yourself more out there? You're even putting your relationship more out there? Do you think that's, at least, just asking, do you think that's any harder because of that, as far as people's opinions or anything like that?
You know, I think it's not harder. I know we've shared a lot. we've made videos before, and I have one video that's on a whole separate channel because we really get into it, and there's some things I don't want my former students to ever see on there. So we've been really open. He and I are both just open people, and we'll share whatever. But it's actually been kind of therapeutic for us to just say, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through. And you know, actually, you probably don't know this, but you know, there's a +1 YouTube channel. And some of the +1s have made in the past were making videos about what they were going through. Do you know about that channel?
No.
No, I heard you mention +1 when you were talking about something else, but I didn't know what it was.
Well, it's also a Facebook group that's just exclusively for spouses of weight loss surgery patients.
Okay.
but the Plus One YouTube channel, David made a video about how I think he used the word narcissistic and conceited, or self-absorbed, like really bad stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, this was before we realized, okay, we're gonna be okay. So he made this video, and I could just tell, people were like, oh boy, wow. And
Right.
I made a response video because I needed people to know that I totally love and respect him and understand that he was going through something as well. He didn't have surgery, and he didn't sign up to go through all the changes that happened after surgery.
Mm.
And he was going through his own struggles. See, this was when I first started really getting involved in the community, and I was much worse then than I am now. Where when we were having dinner, I'd be on my phone, and really, really bad, and doing things I had never done before, like taking selfies. I never ever had taken a selfie before, and all of a sudden I'm doing it a lot, or I'm putting makeup on because I care about what I look like, or I'm doing my hair, or dressing nicely. So that was all very shocking for him, and so he made this video, and I made a response video, and I think we've worked all that out now. But I'm sorry, I forgot your initial question. I went off on a whole thing.
No, I was just asking if it was harder to remain yourselves when you're putting so much out there.
Oh, no, it's not. I don't think so. I feel like I'm more myself now than I've ever been in my entire life. I don't know what David would say.
Yeah, that's what I say. We need him to come on and tell us that.
Yeah.
So what's advice that you would give? I try to ask this from everybody who comes on. What's a piece of advice you would give to someone who feels like, I've been trying for 10 years and I can't lose weight? This time's not going to be any different. How do you make it different?
You mean if somebody who's had weight loss surgery?
Either way. Just some of the, like we talked even before, some of the mental hurdles you have to overcome. A lot of people get discouraged along the journey and feel as though, I can't do it, I'm destined to be this fat, and then you come up with excuses for why you are.
Was my blankie, Mommy?
I'm so sorry.
He's going to see his princess, that's all.
Hi.
Hi.
Aww.
Okay. I'll be there in just a second. It's bedtime. Story time.
Okay. So yeah, what advice would you give to somebody who's just struggling and really needs to just do it?
Yes. I feel like at this point where I am, I can't give that advice to somebody who hasn't had surgery, because I couldn't do it without the surgery. I couldn't do it without that tool. I tried. I tried for years, but for 2 years, the last 2 years, I gave it everything I had, and I tried so hard, and I could not do it. I had to have that tool to be successful. Now, when I had surgery, I had that thought that you said, that everything else didn't work, so why would this work? And sometimes I still have that fear. I'm so close. I've gotten down to 120 pounds, but I'm still 40 pounds away from my goal. I still have that fear of it's not going to work for me. I'm not going to get there. So I understand that fear, and I think that the advice I would give a weight loss surgery patient is to trust the process, to do what you're supposed to do, follow the rules, and if you fall off, get back up and do it, and just get back on track. Look for support, and continue to educate yourself about how you should be eating, how you should be exercising, and learning everything you can that you need to know to take care of yourself, because that's the most important thing. To have a high quality life, you've got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great answer, a very honest answer, and I really appreciate that. All right, so it looks like we are out of time.
It was like so fast.
Yeah, it definitely did. And I want to thank you first for being on, and also want to thank you for choosing the Renew Show to be the place where you made your huge announcement. Again, if there's a link to her new business, to her bariatric support that she'll be offering, so you can get all the information there. There's a link in the description box and also within the comments. So just make sure you check that out and support her. Share it with other people, even if you can't, even if you're not in a place to take advantage of it yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, and thank you for having me on your show. I was so honored when you asked me to be on here.
Oh, well, yeah, great. Thank you for being on. It was definitely...
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everyone, just thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your great comments and questions. Jennifer, they were leaving some just comments about you as well, so, and congratulatory things and different things like that. So make sure you check out what they were saying.
Oh, I will.
Everybody, don't forget the podcast and the giveaway. You have 6 more days to win all 10 of the prizes that we're offering for the giveaway. So make sure you check that out. The link is below for that as well. All right, everybody, have a good week.
Good night.
Bye.